Hey there, guys. So now that I'm in Sydney, there's a few things that have come to my mind about some of the ways that I got over my eating disorder. And I mean, some of you may know that I did relapse, and that is indeed the case. But to me and to my therapist, this is thought to be due to the fact that when I was a child, I didn't really get involved in any of the therapy, so that even though when I was discharged, I was feeling good, and with time, that slowly got better. I had nothing in my mind that would allow me to deal with any stresses in my life. Because I didn't really get involved in those kind of things. So I didn't really know what to do when things went wrong. And some of you may know that things did go wrong in my household, and I just didn't know what to do. So unconsciously, even, I firstly became quite sad, which is, you know, something obviously that will happen when things go wrong in the family. But over time, there was this insidious voice in my mind. It wasn't the eating disorder initially, it was just this feeling of sadness. And then I slowly started to stop eating, but this again wasn't due to the fact that the voice was back. It was I honestly just didn't want it. And then the eating disorder did come back, and it came back with a vengeance because I didn't know, I had nothing to fight against it because I didn't know how to deal with it if it came back. All I knew was that beforehand I was happy, and then I was sad. So for this video, I thought it would be a good idea to give you guys an idea of the benefit of regularly seeing a therapist if you are struggling with an eating disorder. Now, many of you may not know this, but there are many different kinds of therapy involved with eating disorders. And the one that gets a lot of attention when you are in inpatient units is that of cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, this is a kind of therapy that gives you tools so that if things go wrong, you have a healthier way of thinking about it so that the eating disorder doesn't creep back into your mind. And there are many different, I think in total there's around 12 sessions that you go to, and they cover many of the things that can go wrong in your life. This can be things like over magnifying bad things that happen in your life and under magnifying things that happen that are good. So, just not feeling the good out of things in life and feeling worse for when they go wrong. And then there's things like generalization. So if something goes wrong, that's it, everything's rubbish. So in those 12 sessions, you cover so many different kinds of things. And believe you me, when I came out of that, I had so many good things in my mind that when things did go wrong, I just went back to those sessions. I thought, what did I say? And then I just had the healthier way of thinking in place there, ready for me, so that I didn't fall back. And even if I did fall back, it was only slightly, and I knew how to pick myself back up again because, again, these tools did help me. Now, there are many other different kinds of therapy, and this can be you and a therapist alone. And this, again, there are many different kinds of those. There's things like psychoanalysis, where you literally just sit in a room with your therapist and tell them what's on your mind, and they will literally just sit there saying nothing. Maybe every now and again they'll just ask you to clarify something, but this is a way for you to get everything off of your chest. And what the therapist then does is that they can try and link things together so that maybe you haven't thought of it that way. And if you do think of it that way, then perhaps you can try and get over these thoughts. So, I mean, this is fairly useful for people who like to tell people about their problems. And a lot of people with eating disorders, they can become quite enclosed, and they may not want to discuss these things. So this may not be useful for you. But then there's things like supportive psychotherapy, where literally the therapist is just there to support you through it. Then there's things like interpersonal psychotherapy, where, as his name suggests, it's about all the different people in your life and the stresses that are involved with them. So they can then help you think of better ways to think about the stresses that are in your life, so that you can try and get over them and you can try and think more healthily about them. Now, I won't go too much into detail of all the other kinds of therapies because there are so many, and I just urge you to ask your doctor what you might benefit from, or just the list, and you have a look so that you can just come up with something yourself. Now, aside from individual therapy, then there's family therapy, and then there's also group therapy where you discuss your problems in groups. Now, these are really, really useful things for you to do because when you are in family therapy, things may things that are quite contentious that you don't really want to talk about in an unsafe environment like the house, for instance, you can bring up because the therapy room is a safe environment. The therapist is there to support you through it, and they're there to support the rest of your family through it, so you can just talk about things without being worried about what might happen because the therapist is then there to talk about what you could do rather than you leaving the therapy thinking, well, that was really useless because we just said things and didn't really talk about what to do next. And in the group therapy, you can pick up things that you can benefit from. So other people talking about ways that they think about things in a more healthier sense. Now, this may not be too useful for other people who don't really like to discuss their problems around people with eating disorders, but again, this is highly individualized to the person. So you can just think of the things that you find useful. So, I hope this video has been useful because I had no idea of the different kinds of therapies that there were. I literally thought therapy, that's it. But there are many different kinds, and I do urge you to have a look and see what you might benefit from because this is key to recovery. You need this kind of thing in place so that when you come out, you have things in mind that you can turn to if things go wrong. And things, unfortunately, things are most likely to go wrong, especially in the early stages of coming out of any inpatient unit or in the early stage of outpatient treatment. Things do go wrong, and you just need a way to get out of it. So yeah, I hope this video has been useful, but for now, thanks for watching.